The next generation is struggling right now. These three stories highlight some of the reasons why. First, there's Meta trial has just opened. Meta's trial is a big deal. States say the apps were designed to hook kids. A court already ordered $567 million before the trial even started. Now, we also see that new graduates now have higher unemployment than anybody else right now. Let's dive into these stories and see what else is going to come to the surface.
You have had this argument. Maybe last night. You said, put the phone down, you got the look. And somewhere in the middle of it, you wondered if you were the unreasonable one. Because you could not name what you were actually worried about. You just felt something in that house pulling harder than you could pull back. This week, that feeling walked into a federal courthouse in Oakland, California, and it brought lawyers. 4 states, California, Colorado, Kentucky, and New Jersey, are now in trial against Meta, the company that owns Facebook and Instagram. The states allege it is the design. Their complaint names the infinite scroll, the visible light counts, the beauty filters, the feed that picks what comes next. Meta denies all of it and says its record on protecting teens is strong. 3 things are going to connect here, and the third one is the one nobody is litigating. Yvonne Gonzalez-Rogers is the federal judge deciding this. There are 8 people in the jury box, but they are advisory, meaning their verdict is a recommendation, and she makes the call. $1.4 trillion is the exposure Meta itself has claimed in filings, and the company called that figure outlandish. That is the number in the headlines, and it is Meta's number, not the state's. At a hearing this month, the states told the judge $200 billion was closer to the target, which is roughly 3 years of the company's after-tax profit. The first witness called was Arturo Bejar, a former safety engineer there, who told the court that products shipped in safety was not part of how they went out. That's the first story. Now let's move to the second, because while that trial is asking what Meta may owe, another state has already put a dollar figure on what it says the damage has cost. Now the part almost nobody covered. 11 days before this trial opened, a judge in New Mexico ordered Meta to pay $567 million, and $420 million of that funds treatment services for young people in that state. $942 million, one state. Meta disagrees and is appealing. Look at where that money goes. It is not a fine vanishing into a state budget. It is a court building a treatment system because the damage was already there and the public was already carrying it. And that's where the third story starts. Because if you want to know what all of this looks like after the screen is put down, look at the generation that is now trying to enter the workforce.
Hey, real quick, sorry to jump in, but if you want to learn how to start a side hustle and start creating money right now, cash flow, your own business, starting from literally the stuff that you don't use in your garage on how to, then it goes all the way to starting a business, starting an LLC, patenting, all kinds of stuff. Links down below. It'll change everything and it'll save you a lot of time and money. Now let's get back to this video.
Which brings you to the number that should stop you. New graduates in this country now have higher unemployment than the workforce as a whole. 5.6% for people 22 to 27 holding a fresh degree against 4.1% for everybody else. That inversion has never appeared in the data the New York Federal Reserve has kept going back to 1990. 42% of those graduates work jobs that never required the degree at all. The calm read is real, and you should hear it. Announced layoffs in July were the lowest in 2 years, counted by Challenger, Gray, and Christmas, the firm that tracks them every month. Hiring plans rose 25%. Its own executive said plainly that artificial intelligence is shifting the labor market, not dismantling it. All of that is true. It just does not reach the bottom rung. Technology alone has announced 149,000 cuts this year, up 67%, with artificial intelligence the leading reason given 5 straight months. Fewer people are being fired, almost nobody is being started. So go back to that argument in your kitchen. You were not being unreasonable. You were just the only person in the building without a legal team. The kid on the other side of it is walking into a market with no rung low enough to reach, while a court in another state funds the treatment for what the last 15 years did to that generation. When the bill for something this size finally gets written, it does not go to the people who built the thing. It goes to the clinic, the school district, the parent, the taxpayer, and the 23-year-old who cannot find a first job. Every product built to hold attention eventually sends somebody the bill, and nobody ever asked whether you wanted your name on the invoice. What are you going to say the next time that phone comes out at your table? This is Economic Ninja, and I'm out.